Canada the People by Bobby Kalman. Faces of Canada. Imagine Canada as a huge patchwork quilt framed by the Atlantic Ocean on the east coast, the Pacific Ocean on the west, the Arctic Ocean to the north, and the United States to the south. The background of the quilt is a blend of mountains, plains, rivers, and lakes. The many faces of Canada's people are the exciting designs on each patch. A mixture of people. Canada's population is a mixture of people from all kinds of cultural backgrounds. The first people to live on the land that is now called Canada were Native peoples who came from Asia thousands of years ago. Europeans settled in Canada about 500 years ago. Throughout Canada's more recent history, immigrants from Europe, Asia, and Africa have continued to come to Canada. A multicultural nation. People from around the world have immigrated to Canada. The many different cultures represented in Canada add variety to the country's personality. This mixture of nationalities is called multiculturalism, which means many cultures. Canadians try to celebrate and respect one another's culture. The caption says, above, 1/4 of the world's Inuit population live in Canada's far north. Inuit also live in the Arctic regions of Russia, Greenland, and the United States. Below, many people in Canada look different from one another because they have different ethnic backgrounds. They have one thing in common. They are all Canadians. Immigrant groups. The first immigrants to Canada came from France and Britain. Large numbers of Irish and Scottish people settled in the country soon after. Eventually, immigrants from dozens of different countries made their way to Canada. German, Italian, American, Greek, Portuguese, Ukrainian, Dutch, Polish, Asian, Indian, African, and Scandinavian faces are just some of those that can be found in Canada today. A safe refuge. Along with immigrant newcomers, Canada has welcomed refugees for many years. A refugee is a person escaping harsh conditions, war, or persecution in his or her own country. From African Americans fleeing slavery in the 1850s to Kosovars leaving their war-torn country in the late 20th century, Canada has often provided a safe place for thousands of people to call home. The caption says, this page, Canada is known as an immigrant nation. It is home to Native peoples as well as immigrants from many cultural and ethnic backgrounds.